Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 35 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and celebrating myself. So, yay! I made it to day 35. I I'm not awake. I am struggling to come up with I'm just feeling weird about the whole celebrating myself thing, and I'm on day 35, and you'd think I'd be getting used to this by now, and I'm like, I feel like I'm running out of ideas, so if anybody has ideas for me to celebrate myself, that would be awesome. I'm also just feel like I'm having life. It's not coming out right. I'm just dealing with a bunch of other things that don't have to do with celebrating myself. Which seem to interfere with my wanting to celebrate myself. And a lot of it's just being sore and tired and very sore, and overdoing it, pushing myself out of necessity, which is something that I'm very good at. I can push myself probably when I should not push myself. it's really random that I have my Wonder Woman days where I will push myself and I will just do and do and do, and then I will crash, and I will have my depressed days where I will do nothing. Kind of listening to myself, I think maybe I'm bipolar. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I struggle with doctors and getting them to listen to me or to actually help me. They they take one look at me and say, "Oh, this is your problem," and I'm like, "Thank you. That's not my problem. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I need." I'm very good at complaining to other people, just not to the people that frustrate me. And I'm very good at complaining to myself and making up things in my head, which has absolutely nothing to do with celebrating myself or why I'm sitting down to make these videos. So, all crazy life things aside, I was trying to come up with things to celebrate today, and I kind of had two ideas and had to double check to make sure. And apparently, I haven't celebrated either one of those things today. Oh, easy. As of yet. So, I kind of picked open-mindedness, being open-minded. And I can't say that I've always been open-minded. And, and sometimes I'm just far too easily offended. I know that too. But I'm working on it, and I feel like I've become more open-minded. I've become more willing to listen or see other people's points of views. I think it makes being open-minded makes me a little bit more sympathetic, empathetic to other people. And not necessarily making excuses for other people, but allowing other people to be human, just like I'm allowing myself to be human and to make mistakes, to kind of understand where they're coming from, but still at the same time have boundaries that I expect to be respected. So it's like, okay, I understand where person is coming from, maybe why this person did what they did, so I can forgive that person, I can let go of that situation, and I can move on with my life. But I don't have to maintain a relationship with people that have hurt me or that are not healthy for me. So, but it also gives me the opportunity to have conversations with people and not turn it into an argument or not take it personally and feel offended because I have a different opinion than other people's. And in some cases, it's where I just simply don't respond because they have a different opinion or they're very passionate about something. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. On the reverse side, if someone else has the same opinion as me, I can just get all riled up and totally into it. Like I'm really passionate and riled up about it. Like, yes, somebody on my side. But I can still respect the other person's opinion. And I know that it doesn't have to turn into a battle. It doesn't have to be me versus them, a right versus wrong thing anymore. I know a lot of times in my past and in my life that I felt like that if someone didn't agree with me, then they didn't like me or they didn't love me. And I've come to a place in my life where I don't feel that way all the time anymore. I can't say that there aren't situations in my life where people say things or do things and I take it personally, or I feel like this is never going to happen. I still have my old default settings that just don't know any better because I'm human. So I can have an open mind towards myself about things like that, and recognize when I am stuck in the past, or one of my default settings is kicking in, or I have old emotions, or I'm dealing with depression or whatever it is, and be like, okay, this is just where I'm at. And it helps me to be gentle with myself, to be loving and forgiving of myself and my responses to life sometimes. Even when I go off on tangents and I'm complaining about things that I have absolutely no control over. I know I have no control over it, but I also know I have an opinion and I'm upset about something. And it allows me to be okay with that, to recognize where I'm coming from. And it allows me to recognize where other people are coming from, and also to accept that there are some things that other people do that I will probably never understand why they do that or what makes them tick. And also the realization that I don't have to know what makes other people tick. I don't have to know why they do that. That is just who they are, and I can just accept people for who they are. Because I think that's part of just having an open mind and just accepting that this is how God made them for whatever reason, or this is how they've chosen to be. These are the attributes they've chosen to acquire in their life, or that they've chosen to magnify, to work on. And I have that same choice as to which attributes that I wish to acquire, or which ones I wish to work on, and which ones are in my life that I realize are distorted and need to be corrected. I don't recognize all of those. I know I'm far from perfect. I'm not by any means in any of these videos trying to say that I am perfect or that I have the answers to everything, because I don't have the answers to anything, which I think is also what makes me open-minded and willing to listen to other people, to recognize I don't always know the answers. I don't always have the answers, and I sometimes need answers from other people. And even when I do get answers, I don't always understand them. I don't always know what to do with them. So there has to be a level of trust from the people giving me answers, and be like, okay, I'm trusting, I'm trying, I'm doing whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing. So like for me, I guess, dealing with doctors and realizing that I just, doctors are giving me the information based on what they know and what they've been taught, or what they remember from what they've been taught. And saw some doctors that weren't very helpful, and realized that I was just going to the wrong specialist, the wrong type of doctor, which was good to know. Also had to be gentle with myself, because I had the idea to go to a different doctor a month ago, and I chose not to. And now I wish that I had, but c'est la vie, such is life, can't go back. And now I do have answers, so which is good, but it has not completely resolved the issue. I now have to take a different treatment, set of medication, and I I have to trust that this is going to work. I hope this is going to work. I have follow-up appointments with doctors, but I'm not sure if I'm having reactions because it's what the medication is supposed to be doing, or if my body's reacting weird to the medication. So I'm a little bit leery at this point, because I'm having reactions to things that I'm not liking. But I think the medications are working. I just don't like the side effects to the medications. I think that's the right, and maybe it's normal. Maybe it's supposed to do that, and it's okay, and it'll all be better. But um, I don't like it. I don't like it. Um, so, but I'm trying to keep an open mind. I'm trying to continue to try the treatment, because I want to give it a chance to work before I just say, I don't like this and I'm not doing it. I don't want to be, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to have to wait and spend more money to go back to a doctor to find out that this was like normal and I should have just waited it out, and then I'm just prolonging the inevitable. So, I think the medicine's working. My body's having side effects, or maybe those are the effects that it's supposed to be having, and I just don't like them. Um, I'm not sure how it works, so I'm gonna have to wait and see. I hate waiting. I am not a patient person. I think I celebrated being patient with other people, just not patient with myself and situations. Um, not patient with myself and situations. But again, like I said, I'm trying to keep an open mind and to be grateful for the information that I do have. And um, I know that I don't know all of the answers, and that things are probably working out the way that they're supposed to. Um, I just have to learn how to be patient and wait them out. And also, I find that I'm having more of an open mind listening to God, especially when it comes to doing these videos, because every day God has given me something about myself to celebrate. And I've had to have an open mind. I've had to be willing to listen and say, okay, what am I celebrating today? What do I have to celebrate? Even on days where I don't feel like celebrating, or I don't think there's anything going on in my life. And like the day that I was super emotional, I'm like, cool, let's celebrate having emotions. I'm like, really? Or days of setting boundaries and having to set boundaries, and it's like, oh good, I get to put into practice all the stuff that I'm talking about. So I am grateful that I can have that more of an open mind, that I'm willing to listen, to let God fill in the blanks where I fall short, where I don't know, to give me a different perspective on what's going on with other people, or even what's going on with myself and my situation. And just a reminder that things take time. And some of the symptoms I'm feeling right now, I was feeling before I was on medication anyway. I think I just thought the medication would make them go away. So, but the medication is just intensifying them for the moment. And I hope it's just intensifying for the moment and then it gets better, instead of intensifying means that it's getting worse. And I don't know. I don't know. But I can always wait and call doctor's offices on Monday, and maybe come Monday it won't be so intense and it will feel better. Um, Only time will tell. So, anyway, I am again trying to keep an open mind, learning that I can have an open mind about things and situations, and I don't have to make snap decisions or rush decisions. I'm not very good at that anyway. And then when I do, I always doubt and question myself. So I think it's better that I keep an open mind, that I think things through, that I listen to what other people have to say. And I know if any of my siblings are watching this, they will tell you that I dig my heels and I get very stubborn, and I won't do something just because someone else told me to do it. But I am much better at that now, where I'm actually listening to friends and other people and their suggestions. And the funny thing is, even when people have been telling me, like, oh, you need to do something about this, and I'm like, I know, I'm working on it. But instead of being like, okay, sarcastic, or I know, or just be like, not going to just because you told me to kind of thing, I'm just like, oh, thank you. I will look into that. I appreciate that. I had no idea. I don't always say I have no idea. I'm not going to lie about it. I just say thank you. I appreciate the information. I'm like, thank you. Um, and in my mind, I'm like, thank you. I'm glad somebody else thinks there's something I need to work on, or they see the same thing that I see. So maybe that's just validation, confirmation that this is what I need to be doing. And it's not something for me to get upset or irritated about or be sarcastic in response to. So I'm grateful that I can be a little bit more open-minded, and in doing so, I can be kinder and respond more nicely to others when they have suggestions or advice. And I'm also grateful that I can listen to other people and say, okay, I understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate that, but that's not going to change my opinion, and I am going to continue the course of action that I am taking, because that's what I feel like is right for me. But kudos for you for doing that, and thank you for sharing your information. And I've had opportunities to do that with friends and family as well. So I'm grateful that I can do that without feeling like I don't have to feel defensive because they're telling me to do something that I disagree with, and I don't have to make them feel bad for sharing their opinion. It doesn't have to turn into an argument. I'm not causing an argument or taking offense or giving offense because of I can't keep saying offense. It's sorry. Mom Shoemaker has some weird joke thing about it. It's just one of those play on words where it's like a fence, like an actual fence that you like put around your yard or something. And why would you take a fence or a piece of fence from someone? What do you need with a piece of fence? I'm like, what am I going to do with a fence? I'm not going to board up everything and keep people out. It doesn't have a gate. It doesn't whatever. I'm like, I don't need it. You can keep it. Keep your fence. And I know she says it much more eloquently than that. And it's rather entertaining the way she says it. And I can't remember. But every time I keep saying offense, that pops into my head like the picture of a fence instead of I'm being offended by something. So I'm trying to explain this in my video, and then I'm just like picturing a fence in my head. So I love Mom Shoemaker. She's awesome. And I'm easily distracted, so I apologize if that's distracting to other people as well. But the point I think I'm trying to make is that by being more open-minded and willing to listen to other people, I can hear them and see them for who they are and what they're talking about. And even if I don't agree with it, I don't have to get in an argument. I don't have to be right. It doesn't have to be me or them. I can accept that they have a different opinion than mine, and I can say I appreciate that and just move on. I don't have to turn it into an argument. I don't have to take offense. I don't have to build a fence. I don't have to put a fence between me and someone else and create a barrier or ruin a relationship over something that I don't agree with, or I don't have to like be angry at the other person and carry around a resentment because they don't agree with me or because they told me to do something I don't agree with. So, and and my sister's done that. We've had conversations, and she's gotten very passionate about things that she thinks I need to do, and I'm like, okay, I appreciate that. She's like, I'm only doing this because I care about you, because I love you, and I'm like, I know that, I understand that, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your concern. I'm still going to do what I'm going to do, which is, my little stubborn streak or whatever. But I do at least listen. I do appreciate that other people care about me, and I don't try to just blow them off or tell them they're wrong or things like that anymore. So I feel like being open-minded is something that I am in the process of developing. It's something that is changing for me, and as it changes my perspective, and it changes my relationships with other people, because I'm more willing to listen to them, to their side of things. And even though I don't necessarily agree with it, or I see things differently, I can accept that we don't always have to be on the same page to have a relationship, to get along, to work things out, and we can always find common ground somewhere else. And I can respect other people's opinions even if I don't agree with them. And I know the same is true. Other people can respect me and my opinions even if they don't always agree with them. So, but I think keeping an open mind and not having to be right or wrong, and not feeling like I have to go on the defensive every time someone says something I disagree with, or that sounds like a challenge to me. And it doesn't mean that if they disagree with me, or if they say they're disappointed, or they don't like my opinion, whatever, it doesn't mean that they don't love me. And so that's changed for me, and I'm grateful that that's changed for me, that I don't see it as an attack on who I am. I don't see it as they don't love me because I don't agree with them. I don't feel like there's something wrong with me for disagreeing with people anymore. I don't feel like it's a me versus them anymore. And I'm really grateful to see that change coming by being willing to be open-minded. And I know I still have a long ways to go when it comes to being more open-minded, but I think I'm doing a lot better, and I'm really grateful that I can see the progress that I'm making, and I can celebrate that, and I can celebrate the times that I have been open-minded and listened, and that it has prevented fences from being built between me and someone else, and it has allowed the relationship to continue to be where it's at, and I'm grateful for that. Maybe it's made me a little bit more diplomatic. Not that I'm a very diplomatic person. I don't care for all of that. But sorry, easily distracted. Anyway, that is what I was choosing to celebrate today, to the best of my abilities. And I don't know that I had tons of opportunities to be open-minded today, but it was a nice idea of something that I can celebrate in my life. And not working. Trying to do the rolling around on the ball thing, and it's not working. So I'm done. Because yeah. Anyway, as I said, the symptoms of my injuries are intensified with the medication I'm taking. So I also worked for like 8 or 9 hours tonight, which also intensifies the symptoms of my injuries. So I rested for a while, and I thought that was long enough, but my body has other plans. So I'm going to end my video, and I apologize for the random rants about today and other things that have nothing to do with celebrating myself. Just myself getting in the way of myself sometimes, which I am human. I am not perfect, and I am easily distracted, so I get in the way of myself quite often. But I'm aware of that. I'm keeping an open mind about my situation, so I'm going to turn it into that just for kicks. Anyway, if you like these videos, if you find them remotely entertaining, or you think someone else will, you can hit like, subscribe, share someone else. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude. Find some fun ways to celebrate yourself, and maybe do some writing.